Hello, I thought I'd clock in and give you an update about what's just happened to me. I went into town a while ago looking for an electric plug of some sort, and I wasn't able to get it because apparently I needed to know the voltage of the device, which I don't know. There's no way of finding out. But there we are. And uh, on the way back, I don't know if anybody knows rugby, but since the autumn started, there's a lot of leaves on the pavements, particularly up the road where I live, and which is quite near the centre of town. Nothing has been cleaned, nothing has been swept, and the leaves are now lethal. And I sort of avoided the side of the road which was particularly lethal, and chose the other side. And as I was getting to a little roundabout, I slipped and fell on the leaves, and fell quite badly. My hand hurts a lot, and and I called the council. Somebody saw me. Um, I called the council. In fact, I almost fell in front of her car. um, and I called the council, and I called the council 3 times. They seemed more interested in who I was than in when they had last had somebody when somebody had last cleaned the pavements. It's all about blame rather than getting the job done. I would have thought that it would be to hand the date when the pavements were last cleaned on the Clifton Road, but clearly not. And equally, I then asked about the taxi companies. There's a particular taxi company. In March or February or something, I fell over twice because bicyclists were going along that street, and they knocked me over twice. Extraordinary. And the first time or the second time, I don't know which time it was, I really had to get into the centre of town, and I called a taxi, and the taxi company said there were no taxis available, and I ambled into town. And there were 5 taxis belonging to that company parked around the clock tower, 2 of which were peeling off to go to pick up work. So it simply wasn't true that there were no taxis available. And as I say, I'd called the council with the relevant bit, which was the taxi licensing, and we're now, I don't know how many months later, and nobody's got back in touch with me. And I called 3 times and I wrote. It does nothing because the system doesn't seem to be set up to actually helping ordinary individuals. The system is all about um, messing around, really, with bureaucracy rather than getting things done. And I find it quite extraordinary. I then asked um, who was in charge of bicycles going down the pavement, which the person I was speaking to did at least admit was illegal. Oh, that's Warwickshire County Council that does that. In the end, nobody wants to take any responsibility and nobody wants to do anything. And, the last time I was out of action for about 3 months. This time, God knows how long I'll be out of action, but my arm hurts, my hand hurts. And it's my right hand, it's the one I do the drawing with. And I really resent it that there is no accountability, there's no responsibility in our local services, in our systems. There wasn't before, there isn't now. And you just think, what is the point of paying council tax for this sort of desultory, half-cock behaviour? It took me an hour, by the way, to get through to the council, having to listen to their interminable music. And I got through twice. The first time I was cut off. So I think that's more than an hour. And in the end, you just think, what is the point of all this nonsense. County councils, town councils. Who gives a damn if nothing happens? You just pay your council tax, because that's another source of revenue. But nothing happens. Our hospital is closing. Nothing happens. Most of the shops are closing. What can I say? Don't come to Rugby.